Good morning. It is Friday morning, the 1st of March, 2013. February's gone already, man. First 2 months of the year out just like that. Bam! Going by too quick. All right, here's what's going on. There's a controversy going on over the power outage that occurred on Monday. On Monday afternoon at 2:47, the lights went out in all of Panama. There was a company burning sugarcane underneath some high-tension transmission lines, and somehow, I don't really understand how, but the fire caused the system to trip. There was a trickle-down effect, domino effect, and basically the whole, basically the whole national power grid shut down for about 3 hours till they could get it up again. Now, yesterday, the general manager of the company, who's supposedly responsible for this, came out and said, "Nah, it wasn't their responsibility." He says there was problems in the towers already, and but then yesterday, the manager of the Public Services Authority went out and did an inspection and a press conference in the field underneath the tower where the fire was. And she said the company that's responsible for the damage could be fined as much as $20 million. So, we'll see what happens with that, and it's still being figured out, and they're all scrambling to get their technical reports. All right, immigration. Immigration will be having their next, what they call crisol de razas, which is basically a melting pot. They've been doing these things several times a year. They've been doing them in different parts of the country. The last couple they've done at the Roberto Duran Stadium out in Juan Diaz. And what it is you can go there and you can apply with your paperwork. If you're in anyone, and again, this is not directed specifically towards the members of the English-speaking expat community, it's more directed towards people like Colombians that have been in the country for a long time illegally. You can go there with your paperwork, and there's a list of requisites that you need to have, and you apply, and then they give you a legal permit, like a green card kind of a thing, so you can stay in the country legally for up to 2 years, and at the same time, on the same day, in the same place, you can get a work permit. So what they're doing is they're taking the people that are in the country illegally, they're giving them a legal status in the country, and they're giving them the ability to work. Now, with those documents, they can go to any Panamanian company, they can get a job. They can go on the books, they can pay taxes, they can pay Social Security, they can become part of the formal economy. And Panama needs more of a workforce. So they're getting ready to do another one of these things in May. It's a good deal. Listen, anybody can take advantage of this. If you're a young person that's been in Panama and this is a relatively quick and easy way. And what they've been doing, if you've been, if you do it for 2 years, and then after 2 years it expires, you go back and they'll give you another one for like 5. And then after you got another one for like 5, then you can practically apply for permanent residency and citizenship even. So this is a route that, basically from the bottom up, that you can get permanent residency status in Panama. So check it out. It's another route that you can explore. Politics. Yesterday, President Martinelli was up in Chiriquí inaugurating a new project to improve a water treatment plant up there. And he, during his speech, he just went off on politics. Panamanians love politics, man. It's like soap opera down here. They follow this stuff. They just follow all the players and who's doing what. It's the bochinche, the rumor and the gossip, and then they just track everything that's going on. Well, Martinelli came out and he basically lit up Juan Carlos Navarro. Now the PRD is going to have their primary election on Sunday, and it looks like Juan Carlos Navarro, who was a former mayor of Panama twice for 10 years, is going to be the PRD's candidate. He was the running mate with Balbina Herrera last time around in 2009 when their ticket lost. So Balbina Herrera is out, and he stepped up to be the primary ticket. He's going to win the primary on Sunday, and Martinelli's already lighting him up, basically saying, this guy, he looks pretty, he does good publicity, he looks good on camera, but what has he done? He said, this is a quote. So he was a mayor for 10 years. Tell me one thing he did for Panama City in 10 years. What did he do? He didn't do crap. He's like, he might be pretty. He's going, but I'm ugly. Look what I did. You elected me, and I'm ugly, and I did more than that guy did in the whole time. So he's like, don't elect just a pretty face. Elect somebody who's going to get something done. That was Martinelli's message. But this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be hearing, the tone and the tenor of the political process as it gets heated up between now and the elections in May 2014. So there's really about a year, because we're in March now. Last year, by this time, last election, by March of 2009 or 2009, everybody knew that Martinelli was going to win. It was going to be a blowout. So because they formed their alliance, I was like, okay, well, that does it. The alliance was formed in December. So there's really about a year left. I mean, okay, so the election's in May, but coming up in the first couple of months of 2014, I think it's going to be pretty clear who's going to win. Okay, corn producers in Panama are about to start doing protest actions and things like shut down the highway. When I say corn producers, I mean corn farmers. Farmers who grow Panamanian corn. They're getting hit by this free trade agreement. The fact of the matter is, it's simply cheaper for anyone who needs to buy corn in Panama for any reason to buy it by bulk. There's ships that come in just loaded with corn, just lots and lots of corn, bulk corn. And because of the free trade agreement, you can get it from U.S. producers who are modernized and efficient and even subsidized, and it's a better product at a better price. So what are they buying? They're buying the corn thanks to the free trade agreement, and they don't want this bad, cheap, expensive, not as good, lower quality, more expensive Panamanian corn. Now, they had 400,000 quintales, which are basically 100-pound bags, and they're saying that they had commitments that they were supposed to buy 400,000 quintales, but they only bought 300,000. Well, what that tells me is they bought 75%. And what that tells me is that they're going to be sending a message to these guys, dudes, you're in the wrong business. Stop growing corn, grow something else. You can't compete in this market, so don't try. It's going to be slowly squeezed off, and eventually they'll get the message. But right now they're still growing corn, and they're unhappy. So they're talking about closing down highways and stuff. Knew this was going to happen 2004 when they were beginning to negotiate the free trade agreement. Not a surprise. If I knew about it 10 years ago, how come that guy didn't know about it 10 years ago? Okay. Now, talking about crime and violence. Every year they graduate a new class of cadets from the police academy, and they're talking about in the area of Somalia. They have these community preventive units, is what they call them, and basically they're just street cops, patrolmen that are dropped on a street corner, and it's community preventive unit. Well, basically it's be a cop on a corner in uniform with a gun, and just the simple fact that there's a cop standing there is preventing crime, which is true. They're talking about putting a total of 400 of these police officers into an area known as Somalia and in Chorrillo and different areas where crime is a problem, where crime has always been a problem, and hopefully they're going to also be assigning more of these police officers to the beach communities with vehicles, because in Panama City you can stand on a corner, but up in the beach community you need to have mobility, man. You got to have a vehicle that runs and gas and a guy, and he's got to know where to go, and they've got to be doing something. They got to be out moving around. They can't be sitting still. So motorcycles, I don't know. Anyway, crime's a problem everywhere. Here's one that last night in 15 minutes, a couple of guys robbed two gas stations, one right after the other, like 10 minutes apart. Hit one, hit the other, and they was like, gas station, right down the road. It was like, rob this one, rob that one, and go to the next. They just, so, crime. Yeah, always got to fight crime. It's like gravity, it's always on. Drug trafficking. They busted now this is one of those stories when you can tell that they're going to try to flip the people that are involved, because the story says They busted 100 kilos of coke. 2 people were arrested. That's it. That's the end of the story. They don't give you any additional details, and what that means is it might not have been 100 kilos of coke. It might have been more or less. The area where the bust occurred might have been what's in the story, might have been somewhere else. And the people that got arrested, they're going to do that deal like, you're going to tell us everything, and then maybe we'll let you go so we can bust the other people that are really doing the big-time trafficking. Because when they get the low-level people, they try to get the big-level people. But if they can get them to roll over, then good. But then sometimes those guys end up dead. Yeah, it's a hard retirement plan if you're a drug trafficker. And not only that, they busted 2 Colombians at the Tucumán airport, a man and a woman. And between them, they had 51 of these bullets, you know, these things like they're wrapped in condoms or wrapped in plastic or whatever, heroin, that they were on their way. Where were they taking this stuff? I forget. I'm thinking Bermuda, but that doesn't sound right. Bahamas. They were on their way to the Bahamas. They were going to try to smuggle heroin into the Bahamas. They got caught, and it's one of those things where it's because of their nervous attitude. Well, all right, either they were spotted or they had some kind of intelligence information on them or something. But something tipped off the cops, don't know what it was, and they pulled these people out of line, checked them, x-rayed them, see these things inside, and then hold them, and eventually the truth comes out. And 51 things full of heroin. Okay. And then traffic accident. Here's a guy driving a motorcycle, drove into a phone pole, died. 35-year-old guy. He was coming back from work, 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday morning, and just died on the way home from work. Traffic accidents. Be safe. What can I tell you? All right, I'm a little bit over. That's all the news it's worth talking about today. Friday morning, the 1st of March. Coming up on springtime for all you people up there in the U.S. getting frozen. We've still got about a month or so of dry season left down here weather-wise. It's kind of a weird, kind of cloudy day these last couple of days. There's a cold front in the neighborhood, but we still got another few weeks of dry season left. The rainy season for us will kick in right about the middle of April. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'm out.